Hey, who turned the lights back on? Court is now back in session. Let me put my pants on.
At recess, a bullet was found in and dug out from the clown's head.
Well, this is news. And the rifling marks?
There wasn't time to do a detailed analysis. Though they did find the weapon type matches the motor weapon.
Well, that's not very conclusive, is it?
Which is why I'm about to call my very decisive witness.
Your decisive witness? How many times have I heard those words? Though they often turn out to be far less decisive than you think.
Oh, don't worry on my account. I'm quite confident this witness will do the job. After all, he is intimately acquainted with the players in our little production. And the other half of Troop Gramarye's famous duo, Zack and Valent.
Valent Gramarye. Do we get to meet the great Magnafie's other disciple? Hey guys!
Yes, my voice is like this now. Perhaps you will start by asking your name and occupation. Valent Gramarye, magician.
You're the decisive witness, are you? You can prove your fellow student your partner's guilt.
Fate. The grand illusion, filled with traps and tricks.
But wait! The shooting took place in the hospital at 11 o'clock at night! If you're a witness, does that mean you were there that late?
If one were to deduce this logically, the conclusion is yes!
Okay. I always get the characters wrong.
I have an interesting fact for you. You see, several days before the crime, my witness received this.
That looks very familiar.
What? Wait. That's the same letter Zack Gramarye received.
Yes! Or perhaps I should say, ta-da!
Order, order, order. What does it say? Surely not the same thing.
Perhaps you should see for yourself.
Special task, lower current. Nope, 11:20. Ready to gun, you'll shoot one shot square in the forehead, you cannot refuse, and both know why the reason. We both know the reason why.
Hmm?
So 11:20 is different.
Yep.
15 minutes later.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I assume the 13th is right.
Yeah, that's you got it. The time is different, yeah.
You okay there?
Programming, he's overlooking it.
Did we find like a piece of dust in the vinyl record?
Why, it's practically the same. The court accepts this into evidence.
Magnafie's second letter telling Valent to come at 11:20 p.m.
Hey, that's about the time I come. I mean,
What?
yeah, I go to appointments at that time.
At 11:20 p.m. What appointments are you going to?
Why don't you just sit there and mind your own damn
I
business?
suppose so. Sorry.
You're not careful, you're gonna become one of those appointments.
Wait, hold on a second. I'm starting to piece it together.
You don't know what's gonna happen.
Speaking of peace, say your piece.
Where'd you buy that? Who gave that to you?
My finger guns? I can do it myself like
You know
this.
those are illegal, right?
No, they're not the finger guns.
Cop breaks down the door. Hands in the air! Put the guns down!
This is most unusual. Exactly what was going on with you folks? What exactly was your Troop Gramarye up to?
By which you mean?
Magic! Bella just chugs a bottle.
And this
of
bottle
water.
disappears.
I will make this disappear. And it's gone. I'm just having trouble envisioning a man who would ask his students to kill him. Both of them, no less.
It's just my opinion there, Judge. But from these letters, I'd say he was coercing them, not asking them. We walked the magician's path together, and in so doing, shared much of our lives. When people are so close, there is a strain, a warping of relations, you might say. Yet this has nothing to do with the case at hand.
Yeah, tell me about that case at hand. Tell me about it. Don't ask why my pants are down, just tell me. By which you mean you're not going to tell us. Which makes me wonder even more about this reason they couldn't refuse.
Pew, 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 pew.
Well, let's get on with the testimony for starters. The defendant Zack Gramarye stands accused. Tell us why.
Oh, I'll do more than that. For where he walks, the red roses rise, singing hymns to the miracle that is magic.
Magic! There they are, I can hear them. Fascinating, though I hardly need to remind you that the evidence could just as clearly point to you as the suspect. The letter, the murder weapon, and now the 2 bullets found at the scene.
In fact, the only difference seems to be the designated time.
As every magician knows, timing is everything. Yes. And now it's time to get this party fired up! That night, I visited the hospital room at the time Magnifique requested. The smell of gunpowder hung in the room, and my mentor had taken his final bow. I did not imagine my fellow student might have received the same instructions, yet the deal with the dead is still a deal. Death's sweet kiss I gave to the clown. Then I informed the doctor and the police.
I mean, it kind of sounds like Zach's the one who's going to take the fall for you killing your mentor.
So you were the one who reported the crime.
Indeed, I would think. This fact alone would clear my name of suspicion.
Let's not jump to any conclusions.
Yes, the cross-examination generally comes before the conclusions in this court. But if your testimony proves to be true, then the defendant, Zach Gremory, is guilty. Guilty, 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 guilty!
And if it wasn't Zach Gremory, then the killer was you, Valent.
Oh.
And no disappearing act will get you out of that.
That night I visited the hospital room at the time Magnifique requested.
Which, according to the letter, was 11:20 p.m.
Indeed! In magic, timing is everything.
Right.
Consider the illusion of teleportation. If I were to appear on stage before my stunt double has left, how would that look? Why, it would reveal the very secrets of my magic!
Can I see the evidence real quick?
Now that you've revealed the very secrets of your magic for all of us, let's move on. Right?
Can I see the autopsy? 11:30. Fuck!
Yeah, it wouldn't be that obvious. Yeah, loss of blood. Yeah. All that stuff doesn't matter.
God damn it! I was hoping the timing would be just a little smaller in the gap so you could tell there's a lie there. Son of a bitch!
You went to the designated time. What did you see? The smell of gunpowder hung in the room, and my mentor had taken his final bow.
So, you weren't worried for your own safety at all? I mean, you smelled gunpowder, yes? What if the shooter was still nearby?
I did not consider this, to be honest. It is forbidden for a magician to have good imagination.
Really? Isn't magic all about illusions and imagination? How about this? You were the shooter, which is why you weren't afraid.
Now you're the one imagining. It is forbidden for a lawyer to have good imagination.
The witness will refrain from pausing so suspiciously before responding. My forbidden imagination is starting to imagine things.
I did not imagine that my fellow student might have received the same instructions.
Oh, look at that! It was cool. Which brings us back to this reason. Neither of you could refuse.
So he does, and my partner, he did not refuse.
But Magnifique wrote the same thing that you. Why could you refuse if Zach couldn't?
Because I have a will of steel. Of course. I also do this trick where I bend steel bars, so perhaps steel isn't all that strong.
So which is it?
Mind if I continue?
No, stop right there.
If the deal with the dead is still a deal, death's sweet kiss I gave to the clown.
There were 2 bullet holes at the scene, one in the victim and one in the clown. You're saying the one who shot the clown was you?
No doubt my partner Zach has said much the same thing.
Yeah, because whoever didn't shoot the clown committed the murder. I better dig around here a bit more and see what I can turn up. Mr. Valent, let me ask about something else concerning the crime scene. Namely, number of pistols. How many pistols were there when you entered the room?
By which you mean what precisely?
How many pistols were
What do you mean by that precisely?
How many pistols?
Hang on a second.
This is not a trick question here.
You've lost me on how. Because that's what magic is all about.
No,
The how.
that's imagining. No imagination, right? Stop it. How many pistols were there?
I'll tell you.
2 pistols were used in the Zack and Valent quick draw shoot 'em. Correct. 1 for each of you.
You are well informed. Yet, only one of my old friends sat at the hospital room that night.
Your old friends? Only one of those guns is yours.
What?
What did Zack tell me back in the lobby? Yada yada yada. He took one.
Of course, I had no intention. I found it with 2 pistols. I took it and I shot him. Oops!
Huh? No, that last part doesn't seem right.
Wait a second. I wasn't saying that.
I see no problem with that statement. Only one pistol is visible in the photography.
Yes.
In the photograph of the crime scene, after all.
So you picked up the pistol and that pistol and fired it, eh?
Indeed, I did. Alakazam, Alakazine, Alakaboom.
Did you just blow up something?
Yes. I'm really the Riddler.
Is the number of pistols really so important?
Yeah, quite important. Number of pistols is quite important, Your Honor. Hey, Zack, where'd you put the other pistol so I can have it as evidence?
Up my butt.
I'm gonna need you to bend over and I'm gonna need that out.
Nope.
I'm gonna need you to sneeze, buddy.
I never sneeze. It ruins the trick.
Give me the pepper. Pepper his face.
Now my eyes sting.
Sneeze!
Very well.
I can't do it on command. I don't have any talent.
Please add this detail to your testimony.
What can I do but obey? Only 1 pistol was in that hospital room that night. With it, I shot the clown.
But I didn't shoot the deputy. So you took the only pistol there and fired it?
That's correct.
And that pistol was this one, which was left at the crime scene.
Good show. I see you two are a magician of sorts.
And you're an idiot of sorts. Do you have any idea what you just said?
I see the fire in your eyes as you glare at the witness. How about heating up the strata a bit? These slow ballads bore me. I hate ballads. They suck.
What about hymns?
I would never do a ballad. In my entire life, I would never do a ballad.
What about one about a guitar? What about a serenade?
Ugh, gross. I hate serenades.
I hate salad.
I hate salads as well.
What about a serenade? Yuck. Don't like salads. Gross. I got a hunch, but maybe that's all it is. Maybe I should ask about something else.
No!
The bullet locations. Where were the bullets located?
Yeah. And I informed the doctor and the police.
So you informed the police. What did you do then?
What do you suppose I did? Use my magic to levitate my mentor's corpse, perhaps?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. Now please answer the question and skip the song.
After I made my report, I called the doctor and we returned to the room. While we waited for the police to arrive, we discussed stomach medicine. We've confirmed this with the doctor. It all checks out. He praised Mr. Valent's knowledge of stomach medicine, in fact.
Why do you know so much about stomach medicine?
It is an honor I do not deserve, but I accept.
Why do you know so much about stomach medicine? Why do you know?
Like Tums.
Both of Magnifi's students received the same letter. Both admit to having gone to the hospital. 2 bullets were fired, and one of them killed Magnifi. Time to find the cracks in his testimony. And
Right.
break his mama's back.
You said it, right? Yeah, you basically said it. There was 2 pistols. You said that, right?
2 pistols
Yeah.
at different times, but yes. According to the defendant, Zack Gramery, when he entered the room, there were 2 pistols on the table.
2?
One of those pistols he used to shoot the clown in the forehead. Or as Tina Fey says, fahead. Then he left with it in his pocket.
Of course, this is what he would say. Unlike the hapless clown, we must assume our defendant has some brains in his head.
Well, what about what Mr. Valiant has told us? You see, there's something about his testimony that doesn't make sense.
What might that be? I told you, I took the pistol that was there and shot the clown.
That's not what I'm talking about. That's your story, at least. But the rifling marks tell a very different story, Mr. Valiant. Recall what Prosecutor Gavin told us.
He compared the bullet taken from the victim's skull with the bullet fired from his gun. The rifling marks on the bullets were a perfect match.
Mr. Valiant, if you fired this pistol, then you shot the victim in the forehead. You look awful from the back. Don't ever let anybody see that profile.
Order.
You didn't say that about Spud Bushel?
He looks skinny.
Oh, okay.
Well, this is all rather sudden.
What have I done?
Prosecutor Gavin.
I owe the court an apology. Sorry.
Sorry for what?
You see, I was unaware that 2 of these unique pistols were crafted. Analysis of the rifling marks only proved the type of gun that fired them.
But that's not what you told us before. You said you'd verified the murder weapon.
Which is why I'm apologizing to you now. Quite sincerely, I might add.
No, you're not. You're rubbing it in our face.
Would you hold me accountable for a mistake made in my youth?
Yes. Because you're still that age. You just did it. It's like a child who shot who stabbed a man. It's like, would you hold me accountable for this in my youth? Come on.
I'm a young person.
Yes, because that is your current age. That was just this morning.
I am still young. And I might add, it wasn't really my fault. If the defendant had only admitted he took 1 pistol from the scene of the crime, we would not be having this pleasant discussion now.
Valid Gremory.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are presented to this court as a decisive witness, but you've proven to be more divisive than decisive. You idiot.
You'll see. In time. The testimony so far has been merely a review of the facts. The proof comes next.
Care to elaborate, Prosecutor Gavin?
When Mr. Valiant entered the hospital room, the victim had already been shot. As his next testimony will prove. All right, the real fight is about to begin.
Bring it.
Very well. The witness will now testify to the court. Sisters, help us determine who shot what.
Witness testimony. I arrived in the hospital room at the appointed time, which is to say 11:20 p.m. After discovering the body, I fulfilled my obligation, then called in the doctor. The doctor examined the body before the police arrived. He was quite clear about the time of death, 11:10 p.m. And the one in the room at the time was my partner, not me.
But its autopsy says otherwise. You liar!
Oh, am I?
Those times are rather close, you have to admit. You're talking about an alibi established over a matter of minutes. Use a 10-minute discrepancy as the basis of your alibi.
It's easy to explain in this situation now, Judge. For example, take out Debbie Hoodsickle, 13 years hard time for love. Cue to the song. Press the play button. It will play for 2 minutes 15 seconds. Do it 100 times. The result is the same. The debut single was only... That's you.
That's not Apollo!
I'm used to it!
The debut single was only 2 minutes and 15 seconds long? What a ripoff. Hey, songs in the 60s? That was a long song if it went over 1:40.
But this is 2019. This is 2019.
I was just pointing out songs in the 60s. That was considered a long song.
Magic is a world of utmost precision. Hocus pocus requires admirable focus. And in the time of death determined by the doctor, there is an incontrovertible truth.
I love that.
No, you don't. Nobody does.
Hocus Pocus?
Nobody does.
It's a good movie.
No, it don't. No.
Yeah.
No. Factual. Objection.
I'm sorry, I thought I had my own opinion in this world.
I have proof. I have evidence.
Very well, the prosecution warns us that we're dealing with rather precise time.
I didn't say Hocus Pocus 2. Number 1.
So that's your rebuttal, huh?
You chose the worst movie
Yeah.
to hate.
Understandable.
Hold on a second.
And we can expect the cross-examination to require the same level of precision.
I would hope the defense refrains from its customarily broad, sweeping accusations, as we blur the focus this case so clearly demands.
Point taken. Baseless remarks will result in a penalty. Carry on, Mr. Wright.
Carry on, right? Huh?
Right? What? So?
Why is it my? Doesn't it carry on your wayward son?
Is it yours? Or is it mine? Or I might be Mandela's right now. I arrived at the hospital room at the appointed time, which is to say 11:20 p.m.
11:20 p.m.
Maybe lose my place in this script.
Can you prove that's when you arrived?
Alas, such a feat may be beyond even the great Valant. For there were no one in that room but Magnifi, and he was departed after a fashion. I fear defendant Zach Emery sworn disposition. I snuck into his room that night at the appointed time. It was 10 minutes before I left the room. The victim was still alive.
The time indicated by this letter to Zach was 11:05 p.m.
Exactly, which means the witness could not have entered that room before 11:15, because his partner was still in the middle of his crime.
I see. Someone did their arithmetic homework.
You see, the defendant himself has corroborated the witness's testimony.
Does that all make sense?
Actually think about it.
Actually think about it? Does it make sense? To say that there was no one in the room when he got in there?
Yeah, there was nobody in the room when he arrived. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, not a problem.
Yes, we've even talked to him. We're very clear on that. I don't see any problem with that testimony.
If you say so, but I'm penalizing you anyway.
No!
Let's continue, shall we?
Sometimes the most magical thing of all is the truth. After discovering the body, I fulfilled my obligation, then called in the doctor.
Hey, doctor!
Hey, doctor!
You walk in on a murder and the first thing you do is shoot the clown?
The disciple does what the disciple must. My mentor's request, without reason, had caused for me to survey. Survey? What the fuck is that word? What is that word? A surfeit? Surfeit.
I think it's survey.
Is a survey?
A survey of sorrow.
Who? Or what?
Surfeit.
Surfeit!
That's an awful...
Excessive amount of something. Okay. A surfeit amount of sorrow. For what would I, Valant, be now without him? May the soul of Magnifi the Great find greater peace above. This I murdered to myself as I pulled that lonely trigger. In any case, I believe this is nothing more than what we have already learned. I'm still waiting for one of those right moments, Attorney.
May I remind you that baseless remarks will earn penalties. Proceed with that in mind.
Yes, Your Honor. What a pain this is turning out to be.
The doctor examined the body before the police arrived.
Cool. Did the doctor say anything concerning the cause of death?
Why, yes. I believe he screamed, "My God, he's been shot in the head!"
Doesn't take a doctor to notice that. I probably would have screamed the same thing.
And I would have been the requiem that arose in my soul at that hour, that sight.
Whatever happened to good old-fashioned investigation?
In any case, I believe this is nothing more than what we have already learned. I'm still waiting for one of those right moments. Attorney! Keep it quite clear about the time of death, 11:10 p.m.
I don't think I'm stepping out on a limb to say I have some doubts about this. How could the doctor be so precise with the time?
We do usually only get an estimated time of death true. I'm not sure I've heard of a verified time of death.
Magic revels in making the complex appear simple, but reality is the opposite. What appears complex, in this case, is a simple matter of subtraction.
I see another person has done their arithmetic homework.
The point here is the IV the victim was taking. It's quite visible in the photograph of the scene. Recall what we heard earlier about the victim. Magnifique Grammary schedule. Every night at 11, Magnifique took an IV drip for 13 minutes.
I can see the IV bag right there, yes!
Ow. Look a little closer. Follow the tube down from the end of the end. From the bag to the end!
Ah, the needle's been removed!
Atlasly, it fell out when he was shot.
Huh? Whatever.
Yeah, it fell out when he was shot, yeah.
That would seem to be the case.
When the needle comes out, the IV no longer drips.
You could just measure the remaining IV liquid.
Precisely. IV liquid functions for our purposes as an hourglass of sorts. This is how the doctor determined the time of death. From this amount remaining in the bag, it was determined that IV had stopped 10 minutes after administration began. IV report, approximately 10 minutes had passed since the IV began. And so it was, when I went into that room. 10 minutes had passed since that horrible crime was committed. And this is proof.
Well, Mr. Wright,
That seem important? I mean, yeah, because we got evidence for it.
Okay.
Well, seeing how it was the biggest clue we have to the time of death, I'd say it's very important.
agreed. It would be hard to imagine a more precise way to determine the time. Behold the power of arithmetic! Very well. The witness will add this detail to his testimony.
Sometimes the most magical thing of all is my penis.
Get that out of me.
The water of life springs not eternal. The remaining IV liquid proves my innocence.
Did you notice the IV yourself by any chance?
When first I entered that room, the stench of gunpowder assailed me. Next, the mark of death upon my mentor's forehead. And then, his left arm did I spy, a rose, drooping and wilted. Its thorn, the discarded IV needle. Knocked from the vein by the force of the shot. Ugly for you. If that IV had not been there, why, you might be a suspect. Indubitably so. I might say it's thanks to my lucky color.
Your lucky color?
Indeed! Even today, I wear it proudly upon my suspect self, for it always, without fail, brings me luck. Why, when Zack and Valent won their first Magician's Grand Prix, yes, the very one held by the Association of International Magicians, I was adored in this attire then too, and our trophy, a bust. Oh, what a day that was!
Don't remind me of busts. This is one trip down memory lane no one needs.
My lucky color, yes indeed, and that IV too. I think 'twas hued, especially for me, Valent.
That does seem to be the case indeed. Oh well, Mr. Wright, any thoughts on this testimony?
I'm not sure what's happy with himself. Okay, how about this lucky color testimony? But isn't the IV green? And he's wearing yellow? Certainly sounds like your lucky colors brought you plenty of luck. But not this time. Mr. Valent, your lucky colors betrayed you.
I'm afraid you've lost me.
Your Honor, the witness's testimony just now clearly contradicts the evidence.
What? Please recall my warning at the beginning of this cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Baseless accusations will be duly penalized.
I don't want to read that. Yeah, the last statement that I didn't press. Let's see. Hold, it was, wait. And the one in the room at the time was my partner, not me. Hold it! He went to that room at 11:20 p.m. The time given by the defendant, Zach Gramley, was 11:05 p.m. You didn't run into him at the hospital that night. This is why I never perform with amateurs, you see. Huh? Picture it, if you will, the nighttime hospital, outside, only the pale light of the moon. If two dressed as we were to meet in such circumstances, I dare say that would ruin the mood completely. The mood isn't in question here. I believe the witness is saying they didn't meet, y'all. For what is magic, if not the study of beauty? Us meeting was not only out of the question, it was an impossibility. There you go. Well, they didn't see each other.
I read that.
Oh, you did. Okay.
I do hope this latest accusation is well based.
Don't worry, I've got all your bases right here. My nuts.
Very well, let's hear the defense's claim. Where is your evidence that contradicts with what Mr. Valiant has told us?
Yeah, okay, I was right. I couldn't remember if it was green. He's talking so confident, I was like, maybe it isn't. Maybe it was yellow. The crime scene tells all, Your Honor.
The photo of the crime scene?
This talk of color has me yearning for black and white. Clear-cut simplicity. Tell us, right, just where is the contradiction in this photo?
My pleasure. I assure you, it's quite simple. But I can't promise anything in black and white. Ba-na-na-na-na.
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What in this photo contradicts the witness's testimony?
Valiant Gremory. Let's get one thing straight about your lucky color. It's yellow, yes?
Kind of takes the mystery out of it, but yes.
Something wrong with yellow, Mr. Wright?
Yes, there is. Decisively wrong, in fact. Take another look at the photo of the crime scene. Here, Valiant, let's show your dead mentor again. Look at him.
What's this?
Confusion, doubt. Tell us, what do your elderly eyes spy?
Even my elderly eyes can see a problem here, Mr. Valiant. Look at that IV bag.
What is this? What foul magic?
It would be hard to call the IV liquid yellow. And I'm afraid no magic was involved in the taking of this photograph.
Alex, no!
No, the Pokemon is called Alakazam. Old people.
God, I'm not that old.
Order. What does this mean?
This is some kind of mistake.
Yes, Prosecutor Gavin, your witness's mistake.
The greener they are, the harder they fall. That's not a saying, but it is to me. I suppose there's no substitute for experience. Valiant Gremory, as you reminded us several times. Your lucky color is yellow, but the IV is clearly not.
Well,
This contradiction can mean only one thing.
and to think, you almost had me. I see your true colors now, Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright.
That's the game, baby!
Woo!
Something you'd like to tell us, Prosecutor Gavin? As far as this court can tell, the witness's testimony does contradict the evidence.
Yes, a contradiction. One that I shall be pleased to hand right back to Mr. Wright.
How do you mean?
How? Because the witness has made no mistakes. I agree, at a glance, the IV liquid does appear a sort of greenish yellow. But I assure you the liquid itself is quite yellow.
Yellow liquid? How can you say that? As far as I can tell from this photo, it's green.
Yes, but what color is the IV bag itself?
Bag? You mean the plastic bag on the hook?
Looks like I want to say light blue.
Precisely. Figured it out yet? Put the yellow liquid in a blue bag and...
You get green.
This, incidentally, is the liquid's true color. My piss.
But you're very dehydrated.
I only drink vodka.
You're German. That's a Russian drink.
That doesn't mean I don't drink vodka.
No, you gotta stick with German. It's beer. Strictly beer.
I'm not into beer. It's too much for me. But vodka is not.
I see. Your explanation does have the ring of truth to it.
As I thought. There's no substitute for experience, Prosecutor Gavin.
What?
You may tell a good tale, but you've just proven something rather grave for you, that is.
Grave?
The liquid in the IV is yellow, yes. But how did this witness know that? It's quite unnatural when you think about it. You did think about it, didn't you? Your Honor, the defense requests an explanation from the witness. At the scene of the crime, the IV liquid appears to be green. So let me ask, how did the witness know the IV liquid was actually yellow?
Oh my god!
Fucking birds! They're picking me! They're picking me! Order! 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 Mr. Wright, you will explain this at once! The witness clearly knew the color of the IV liquid, so I'm sure it means something, but what?
I can think of only one possibility, Your Honor. The witness, Valent Gramarye, has testified the IV liquid was yellow because he had seen it before. From the facts before us, the answer is clear. The witness knew that the IV liquid was yellow. Why? Because he'd seen it before. Not inside the blue bag. We see it in the photo. He saw the liquid by itself in a clear, colorless bag.
I suppose he would have had to, but I'm still not clear as to what this also means.
Ask yourself, why would he know if he didn't work at a hospital? That's where you'll find your meaning, Your Honor.
I'm afraid I find nothing. So what if he knew the IV color liquid's color? Leave the getting excited over the absolutely nothing to our teeny popper fans, yeah?
Stop using American words if you're gonna talk German!
I don't have water. Where's my water? Water.
Deep inside, well, you threw it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I magicked it out of my existence.
The IV liquid is the only evidence proving the time of death. A 30-minute hourglass with 20 minutes worth of sand remained. Your claim, Prosecutor Gavin.
I remember it well.
However, there's a critical difference between an hourglass and an IV bag.
Well, wait, I know! An hourglass uses sand, but an IV bag uses liquid. I'm right?
As much as it pains me to say this, Your Honor, no. Unlike sands through an hourglass, IV liquid enters the patient's body, at which point, like magic, it disappears. However, what if the amount of IV liquid had increased? You couldn't tell, could you? After all, there's no way of knowing how much went in.
Let me get this straight. Right. You're saying the witness watered down the victim's IV bag?
Not with water, but with IV liquid. Gave him a double dosage, you know what I mean. That's how you knew the IV liquid was yellow.
No, wait! I said wait! How might an amateur such as myself essay to perform such a task?
Because you're a doctor! I'm an amateur too, but I can pour water into a cup.
I'm afraid there's quite a big difference between a cup and an IV bag. Quite. Can you prove our witness is capable of such a feat?
He has a point, amateurs. I, at least, would have some difficulty pouring IV liquid into that bag, unless I had a clean syringe on the table, because the patient was diabetic.
Yes.
You don't need to be an expert to see the look on the witness's face. He added liquid to that IV, throw off the time of death.
I tell you, these fairy tales act lacking evidence.
Oh well, Mr. Wright, any solid evidence to bring us back down to earth?
Valiant Gramarye, I'm afraid your magic won't serve you well in a life of crime.
Might I ask what you're strongly suggesting?
Magic relies on props, and props become evidence. And head busts become murder weapons. And murder weapons are used by cripples.
What? Huh? Oh yes, that's true.
How many people have you murdered? With busts.
A couple.
Our witness was certainly able to increase the amount of IV liquid in the bag. All he had to do was work a little magic, and the prop was a syringe that was clean.
The victim's syringe!
It's the perfect prop for the magically increasing IV trap. An easy enough for an amateur to use.
What kind of evidence is that? The syringe is clean, not a trace of liquid in it.
And don't you find that odd, Prosecutor Gavin?
What?
The victim had the syringe to administer his insulin shots. There should have been traces of insulin left inside. Well, Valiant Gramarye, as you pointed out yourself, the IV liquid makes the perfect clock. One that you could manipulate at will.
Alakazam!
Did one of those birds just come out of your penis? Is that why you yell?
Yes.
Alakazam!
My urethra.
I do believe, well, with this being his first, that the burden of his trial has been a bit too much to bear for Prosecutor Gavin. I'm afraid that, well, there is a doubt as to the amount of IV liquid in that bag. The time of death cannot be proven, and that brings our trial to a close for today.
Well, maybe I can squeeze an extra day out of this and do a little much-needed investigation.
I see there are no objections. Court is adjourned. I just asked!
Truly, there's no substitute for experience. Nothing blinds one to the truth so effectively. A word to the wise: underestimate the young, and they'll sweep your feet out from under you in a way you never, ever expected. You see, I know exactly what you're thinking.
What's he talking about?
You say the witness used the syringe to manipulate the level of IV liquid, but there was no proof.
There's no proof he didn't do it either.
Yes, quite true.
Huh? He's admitting it?
Nor was this witness quite as decisive as I'd hoped. This, I admit. After all, why linger in the past when the future holds so much?
You have something in mind, Prosecutor Gavin.
Oof, fair judge. I have another way to prove my case. With evidence, no less.
What's this?
This is the victim, Magnifique Gramarye's diary.
Diary?
After going into the hospital, Magnifique began writing his memoirs, it seems. The story of his birth, his startling debut, and the meeting his disciples. It seems he intended for the last chapter to end quite appropriately with his death.
Wait, the book doesn't say what the reason was, does it? The reason why his disciples couldn't refuse his last request?
Sadly, it does not. What's important here is on the last page. Apparently, the victim wrote in his journal that night, even after the IV had begun at 11 p.m. Let's read it, shall we?
This does appear to have been written just before his death. Ignore the page that was ripped out. And the forged page that you were handed. The court accepts this into evidence.
Magnifique's diary, a memoir story written up to just before he died. Read the very last part with particular care. Open it. Tonight's IV is in.
This is the last page, the diary empty.
Maybe the last. I leave it to them. The first trip comes soon. This journal may end here or it may go on, but not long. That depends on his hand. All that is left to mine is to lay down his pen.
Huh? What's this? Looks like page was ripped out. Well now, isn't that interesting?
This journal may end here or it may go on, but not long. That depends on his hand. Of course, by his, he refers to our defendant Zach Gregory.
That would make sense, yes. He was the first scheduled visitor after all.
But look at what he said before that. This journal may end here or it may go on. It may go on. Magnific Gregory intended to write again. That is, if Zach Gregory didn't pull the trigger. I see the defense understands the meaning of this. The victim's diary does not go on. It ends.
It went on. You could see a page that's ripped out of it.
Because Magnific's life was brought to an end by the defendant, Zach Gregory.
Order, order, order! Prosecutor Kevin, are you certain that Magnifique Gregory wrote this?
There is no mistaking his handwriting.
Well, this does seem to be significant. According to this, Magnifique did intend to continue his diary. Yet, his diary ended here, which plainly it did.
Then the one who pulled the trigger was the first visitor, Zach Gregory. Well, how do you like me now, Airwright? Still too green for your tastes,
He's right about the diary being pretty clear. Still, I find it hard to believe that he overlooks such an obvious problem with his precious evidence.
Well, Mr. Wright, the witness's testimony we heard was lacking. But put together with this evidence, it seems quite sufficient for a case.
The diary's accepted like this, the trial's over. Maybe it's time for me to show them something else. The other page? Yeah. Let's fuck our life. That seems about right. I'm left with no choice but to show my own evidence.
What? You have some evidence that overturns this diary?
It's not too late to rethink this and avoid more embarrassment.
Very well. Please show us your evidence, Mr. Wright.
Incidentally, don't even think of showing us this diary I've just showed to the court. Now that we've come this far, I hope you have something a little more decisive. Show us evidence that proves the victim continued writing his diary.
Alright, be happy to. Decisive evidence proving that the diary didn't end with this page is this ripped out page. I really hate the fact that I know it's all fucking fake.
Maybe not this time, maybe, you know.
It's this time! God! First, take a close look at this diary. Note that a page has clearly been ripped out.
What's this? I hadn't noticed that at all.
That's why we're still here talking about this. So it just so happens, I have here what I believe to be the missing page.
I don't believe it!
Looking at this page, hard to imagine that the first visitor that night shot Magnifique Grammar. That's the defense's position.
Oh wait, let me see that. It seems fate's clock will make me wait. 10 swift minutes remain. Yada yada. My life's work. Farewell. What in Sam Hill?
Judge, it's Sam Hill.
Well, Sam Hill also works.
Why, this is the continuation of the victim's diary.
Note the torn edge of the page. It's a perfect match with the torn remains of the last page in Magnifique's diary.
Quite remarkable. Would you care to explain what all this means, Herr Attorney?
The diary continued after his first visitor came, which means that the victim was still alive after Zach Grammary left. leaving no one to take his life but the second visitor. Valent Gremory.
No. No!
Where do you keep getting all these pigeons from? Doves, but still!
I wouldn't use such lowly creatures such as pigeons. Only a few. Most of them, actually.
You just paint them all white. You know that's what you do.
We have at least one dove. One dove. Okay, we don't have any. We have pigeons, but
We've got a photo of a dove.
yes.
All right, we don't have that either. We got a drawing though. Yes. We don't have that.
Yeah.
The handwriting too matches that on the other pages. This is without a doubt the genuine article. Order, order, order!
But wait! That's impossible! That old man couldn't have written that! Finally. You just couldn't resist, could you? Right.
I'm sorry. Did you give me fake evidence to see if I would present it? Did you give me fucking fake evidence to see if I would fall for presenting fake evidence? That's horseshit and you know it. Resist what? Presenting solid evidence?
Judge,
Yes, Prosecutor Gavin.
might I request that we put the current cross-examination on hold? The prosecution would like to call a new witness.
But, Prosecutor Gavin, this evidence overturns the current witnesses.
I ask only to put it on hold. Please. And the witness has a very, very important piece of testimony to give. 5 minutes. No more. I promise. Your Honor.
Well, if you put it that way, Mr. Wright, what's your take on this?
Well, Your Honor, judging from his enthusiasm, I'll have to hear this new testimony sooner or later anyway. So it might as well be sooner.
Then, though this is highly, highly irregular, we will put this current cross-examination on hold. The witness may step down. Now, Prosecutor Gavin, please bring the surprise witness to the courtroom.
I had a bad feeling just then. That ripped out page was too obvious. He must have known. I should have known it was a bad sign all around.
Holding trial with no audience is a first even for me, Prosecutor Gavin.
I beg the court's understanding. But I had to make a judiciary deal with the witness to secure his testimony.
Judiciary deal?
The details of his testimony may have some legal ramifications, shall we say. I thought it best to contain the information to this room.
Very well. And you are the witness, I gather?
Yes. Yes, sir. State your name and occupation for the record. My name's Drew Misham. I'm a painter.
A painter? And you are somehow related to this case?
No, well, not per se. I have one simple question for this witness. Mr. Misham, was it? Do you know what this is? Oh, yeah. I know it well.
How's that possible? Have you seen this diary page somewhere before?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I made it.
You... what? You made it?
Yes. You might call it one of my works. The prosecutor's office received a tip-off yesterday. Illegal evidence has been prepared for the trial of Zach Gremory.
Illegal evidence?
I initiated an investigation and found this witness. A painter to the world at large, Drew Misham has another side, you might say. He is skilled in making perfect reproductions of certain things. Forgeries, in other words.
Forgeries?
Well, so we are to understand that this page here is...
A fake. Prepared by a certain defense attorney.
Hold it. I didn't prepare this evidence.
Ah, the attorney speaks. Something about this page, I presume. But what does he say? It makes no sense. After all, it was you who presented this evidence to us, Phoenix Wright.
Witness, Mr. Misham, was it? Who requested this forgery? Who was your client?
I don't know.
What?
Most of my clients prefer to remain anonymous, even to me. I make the items they want, and they receive my payment. That's the extent of my contact with them.
But there's no proof this is a fake.
It's a fake.
Huh?
To avoid just this sort of problem, I always put a special mark on my works. I can say without a doubt, this is mine.
Mr. Wright, you have just presented illegal evidence to this court, my court!
It was careless of me. That's all I can say. Oh, old boy. Here. What's this? I don't know. I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to you, the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. They said it was real important. It was all a trap. A fatal trap.
Mr. Wright,
Yes.
do you have any explanation for yourself?
If I did, would the court hear it?
Probably not. Forging evidence is a serious crime. Presenting it in court is a serious mistake. A fatal mistake for an attorney.
Fatal too, perhaps for your client, I fear. Tell me, what kind of defendant relies on forged evidence? The answer is quite clear. A guilty one!
Your Honor, wait. I understand that presenting forged evidence in a court is a serious crime, but you cannot hold my client responsible for actions I undertook as an individual.
I am sorry, Mr. Wright.
Your Honor?
Another close call, I dare say. If the prosecutor's office hadn't received that hot tip, everything would have gone the way you wanted to. Huh? I even gave you a chance. Too bad you decided not to think before embarrassing yourself.
I see no need for further discussion on this matter. Special witness dismissed.
Mr. Attorney,
Yes.
could I ask your name?
Phoenix Wright.
Mr. Wright, I have seen and studied many people, but none like you. I'll remember you, Mr. Wright.
You just single-handedly stopped an entire law firm.
Though I deeply regret having to declare a verdict in this way, this trial is over. You have the right to find a new attorney and make an appeal. However, this court must.
Ah! Your Honor,
Yes, Mr. Zack.
there is one thing I wish to make clear. Today, in this courtroom, you cannot declare me guilty. It is impossible.
I'm afraid the defendant is quite mistaken. I most certainly have the authority to declare a verdict on you.
Except, tell me, how do you plan on announcing your verdict when your defendant does not exist?
Doesn't exist? What are you talking about?
I am talking about this!
Mr. Enigmar!
The defendant escaped! Find him, quick!
Bailiff, close all exits from the building! On the double, he must not be allowed to escape!
That day in the court, a miracle. The defendant Shady Enigmar, aka Zach Grimmery, did not just escape from the court. He literally unbelievably vanished. Right before the bailiff's eyes. No one ever saw him again, not since that day.
This is the Grimmery miracle! Ha 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 ha!
No verdict was declared. After all, the defendant didn't exist. That's how it happened. The trial of magician Zach Grimmery finished along with him for all eternity. The mysteries that remained behind were all solved, but not until 7 years later. Yeah, nothing but pure anger is just what went on.
And we're gonna go into the investigation in
The next episode.
So thank you for watching this episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All, Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Make sure to like, subscribe, and the bell notification to the upload, which is
Every day.
bye-bye. Why'd you do it, man? For God's sakes, why? The game told you!